Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning and welcome to a Tuesday edition of Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Got a good show lined up for you today. We're going to kick it off here in just a second. Our good friend Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. You can hear him every weekday night on Facebook Live from about 9 p.m. Eastern time till who knows when. Buddy burns the midnight oil on his show. And
by the way, Fridays at noon, you can also hear us. Fridays noon.
That's right. I'm going to let you plug your podcast there as well. And then we'll have Trent Whittemore, wide receiver. We tape this segment on Sundays because our schedule's so busy. So in the future, folks, if you got any questions after the game that you want me to ask Trent, shoot them to us via the text line or on Facebook Messenger or what have you, and we'll ask Trent the questions. But let's kick off the program with old Buddy Martin. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, Shane. I woke up thinking about two things today, and one is about what you said about the rhythm of a quarterback that's so important. And the second thing is why did that win feel so good over Florida Atlantic, even though it was Florida Atlantic? Shane, the last time we won a football game was December the 5th. It's been a long time, Think about it. And I looked it up, and I think the point scored, Florida scored 100 points in those three games, and their opposition scored 100. So scored 144, and of course we know they were 0-3. So a victory does a lot for a program, even though it was a month later. They needed to get back on track.
Well, anytime you can win a football game, you only play 12 of them that are scheduled. So the goal is to try to win as many as you possibly can, obviously, and there were some good things that came out of the game. I know a lot of people are questioning this, questioning that, but that's why we have Sports Talk Radio for the great Buddy Martin to give us all the answers.
No, I asked the questions. You give us the answers.
Buddy, I want to start with, I don't know if you got to see any of Ole Miss last night. Did you?
Just a little at the start. Obviously, they got an offensive powerhouse. Maybe the best quarterback in the SEC, in Matty Corral. I'm not ready to say Bryce Young should be anointed just yet. And their defense is not bad. They give up a lot of points in the end. But, Ole Miss is one of those teams that's just the next level down tiers. Not going to compete with the Alabamas of the world, but it'll cause some troubles and they'll win a bunch of games. I think they're going to win 8 games or so.
Yeah, I haven't looked at their schedule, but, I said a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think they could beat. I don't think they can beat Alabama. I don't think they can beat Texas A&M. I didn't think they could beat LSU, but now I do. Ole Miss, Matt Corral, in my opinion, right now, might be the best quarterback in America.
Really, the best in America, huh? Okay.
I really think that. He throws he's extremely accurate, great leader. But Ole Miss looked good last night defensively. They've added a ton of transfers. They were flying around. They're a fun team to watch. And, they didn't have Lane there. They didn't need Lane last night. Yeah. People forget that Jeff Levy is the guy that calls the plays. Lane doesn't call plays.
Right.
He may make a suggestion here and there, but Levy does all the play calling. And but they got really, really good skill guys. Good gracious. So it was fun to watch them last night.
Can I ask you a question, Shane? I'm not sure growing up as an Ole Miss fan. I know this is the modern thing to do, and I'm not complaining about it. But Ole Miss's color has always been red, white, and blue, right?
Right.
And they got this powder blue. I don't know.
No. So, buddy, you should know this. Back in the day, even when Johnny Vaught was the coach, they had powder blue helmets. Even my dad's helmet. My dad's helmet was powder blue.
Was it?
And they never wore a jersey, but they either wore a navy jersey, white jersey, or red.
Right.
With the gray bridges.
That's what I remember. Yeah, I remember those teams. Yeah.
So even when I was in high school, they had the powder blue helmet and the navy helmet with Colonel Rev on the side. Then they had to go to the script Ole Miss
Yeah.
But now, once Lane got there, Lane's trying to do what
I get
Oregon,
it. Yeah.
Oregon. So he brought the powder blue jersey.
Yeah.
And now all the sports are using the powder blue.
I can't keep up with it. I can't. Even the Rays, even my Rays, who won over Boston, great win over Boston yesterday. There being behind 7-1, coming back to win. They wear powder blue. They all wear. I get it. But I was thinking about you being a uniform guy, being an Ole Miss guy. If that bothers you at all, I guess it doesn't.
No. I actually love it, honestly. So because they've always had, they got a Navy helmet too, is their main helmet. But we got a Facebook Live here brought to you by Metal Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. And John says, what about all the targeting calls last night? I think we need a targeting 1 call, which means you stay in the game. Targeting 2, you get ejected. I agree. I think they got to address this targeting. Four targeting calls in the first half alone.
Yeah, can't have that.
And 4 kids kicked out. Because as a defender, I disagreed with almost every one of those calls. They should not have been. I understand the rule, but a player can't help it if the ball carrier, receiver, or whatever lowers their body or lowers their shoulder, then you hit them in the head or what have you. So they need to address that in the all season. I'm sure they will. But I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that old saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. They want to protect the player, but they've gotten out of hand here with this. And so I don't know what, maybe they can tweak it a little bit during the season of an interpretation. They can't change the rule now. So hopefully the officials will get together and say, we can't be throwing 5 or 6 kids out of a football game. It's enough to deal with COVID to get people on the field, and that's just egregious. If it's egregious, throw them out. But no, I mean, it's really hurting the game.
Yeah, nothing last night was worthy of being thrown out. Matthew says here on Facebook Live, I want to get your thoughts on this, buddy. He says, will Coach Mullen do what needs to be done and make the switch to Richardson as our quarterback? Or will this be another Frank situation where he plays the wrong guy until we have an act of God to help make the right change happen?
There we go.
Okay. Here, I'm going to give my 2 cents on this first.
Right.
Okay. It's 1 game. Emory is his first recruit ever. He's going to be very loyal to him, give him every opportunity. Anthony's extremely talented. And I said this on your show last night, buddy. It's amazing to me how people, and we're talking about the quarterback position. What's the definition of a quarterback, buddy? We need to look that up in the Webster.
Oh,
I don't even know what it is. But most quarterbacks do what? Throw the football, right? That's where the position started.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't throw it a whole bunch back in the day. I mean,
right.
Bob Greasy threw it 15 times a game, for example.
But Bob Greasy didn't take off running with the football. My point is,
only time he did was he got down to the goal, to the red zone, and he ran the quarterback draw really well.
Yeah. So my point is, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, Emory and Anthony are basically the same guy. One's a little bit bigger than the other. Neither one of them are great throwers, okay? And in order for us to have a really good year, we've got to throw the football better. I'll argue with anybody all day long there. If you think they're great throwers, send me a Facebook Live, text, whatever you want. I'll back it up. But people are wowed by what Anthony did the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he hurdled a guy. I get it. Phenomenal athlete. But the long run, every quarterback on the roster would have made that run because it was a great play call by Dan Mullen and FAU lined up incorrectly. So what are your thoughts on this, buddy? Because I know you like Richardson. I do too. I like Emory. But I think Coach Mullen's going to play them both all year long.
I don't disagree with that. And I wrote that before this whole game happened and wrote it after, that despite the fact he looked sensational, better than I thought he was going to be, based on what the knowledge I had, which wasn't much, and people who saw him in practice kept talking about it. Look, I was slow to move on Trask. I defended Franks because of his loyalty. And I was wrong. It turned out that way. And so was a lot of other people, for that matter. And I don't necessarily say they should go to Richardson. I think the delicate balance is what a quarterback whisperer has to deal with. You created this 2-headed monster on purpose because that's how you coach. That's fine. Now you got to manage it. And it's going to be an issue. And who was the guy who just made those comments? You're going to hear that every week. Every week is play Richardson, play Richardson, play Richardson. Okay, he'll get his plays. And you mentioned last time of the show, you expected to see a lot more than Anthony in the packages in the game. And I agree with that. I don't think that unless Emory Jones stinks up the joint for a couple of games, that he's going to be sat down. I just don't think it's going to happen because it flies in the face of Dan Mullen. Is it right? I don't know. But here's the point I don't want you to miss, Shane. Inspirational players make a big difference. And I said last night, maybe 4 or 5 guys as I've been covering Florida football are as inspirational when they walk on the field and participate as this guy. So he is something special. Emory's a good quarterback, and he's going to contribute well to the program. But can he inspire this offense? And that's what Gator fans are saying.
Okay. So you saw him play. What made you – I'm just asking, what made you think he inspired the offense?
They moved the ball right away.
Well, okay. They did, but the Emory moved it too. So my point to all the fans out there is I have a problem getting excited at the quarterback position just because a guy ran the football well. Because that's not what we need at the quarterback. I mean, that's part of what the offense is now. But, the difference between Trask and Franks was they both were throwers. And Franks could run a little bit, but Trask was extremely accurate and threw completions a lot.
Right.
There is no difference right now from a passing standpoint between the two. And now, if Anthony had gone out there and gone 7 of 7 for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns or something like that, okay. But we're talking about one long run and a hurdle over a guy. That phenomenal athletic plays. I get it. But I need to see completions by both quarterbacks for us to be where we need to be. And I agree with you. They're both going to play. Anthony does have that it factor. I agree with that, buddy. But we need to see it in more games. You know what I mean?
It's a valid point, and I don't deny it. I do think you have to look at the numbers, and it was Florida Atlantic, but the rushing yardage, all-time high for Dan Mullen. I mean, part of that was the quarterback. If you got these other players, I mean, they already got 5 running backs. They're going to have room for 1 or 2 more, I guess, with the quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know the outcome. I think it's a good problem to have. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Dan Mullen, who knows as much about this as anybody, the coaching quarterbacks, how he handles this. And fans are going to have to be a little patient, but they aren't going to be.
Yeah, we got a couple of Facebook Lives here brought to you by Melon Law. John says, if the Gators score on those 2 red zone trips in the first half, it changes the whole perception of the game. Everyone's fine with Emory. I agree 100% with that. Chris says, put Jones at quarterback and put Anthony at fullback, and there you go.
There you go. Well, he is going to play him. They are playing them both together in backfield. So, I mean, the tight end and the Hail Mary, he was in for that. So how he uses those 2 quarterbacks and those 2 players is going to be fascinating. Because if I'm Nick Saban now, I'm a little worried.
You're a little worried?
I'm a little worried about how he's going to be used because he's a weapon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how we're going to approach that game. We need to go out and have a good offensive performance against USF, which
and they will.
Very good.
They will.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
They will for sure. Buddy, a couple things. Let's move on from the quarterbacks. We can sit here all day and talk about them.
Mm-hmm. You don't like quarterbacks?
I mean, I do, but we're talking about running backs, basically, is what we're talking about.
I just reminded you were one, just so you remember.
Right, but here's. This is I talked to somebody about it last night. It blows my mind that anyway, we got a lot of football left to see.
It's the marquee position, Shane. There's 3
I know, but it's amazing. It's amazing to me. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Anthony. I wouldn't care if this was the 7th quarterback on the roster. Mm-hmm. But when guys take off running, that doesn't really excite me for the quarterback position, because if we want to win a lot of games in the Southeastern Conference, we have got to throw the ball on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
If we're going to do that, we might as well line up in the damn wishbone. If everybody gets excited about these runs.
Well, how about the single wing, which is what Urban ran with Tim Tebow, who basically ran the single wing.
So defensively, I think Todd Grantham spoke to the you media boys yesterday. What came out of that?
Well, he talked about the fact that he's going to be a press coverage team. They're going to play the press coverage, and they're going to put pressure on the secondary, obviously, to do that. And that doesn't surprise us. I think what's interesting is that, Grantham, if you talk to other people who play the quarterback position, they hated to play against him because he has this mind game he plays with quarterbacks. You know that. You never know when he's going to come and where from. They didn't blitz a lot, but they had a couple of really interesting packages when they did blitz. I know we're jumping ahead because we're talking about Alabama and not about South Florida. That's the nature of the beast because we're all excited about that. It's going to be fascinating to see, can Todd Grantham get in the head of Bryce Young? And I think he can. Now, do I think Alabama is a better team? Absolutely. That's why they're favored by, 15, 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
But if they got a chance, as we saw over the weekend, they've got to get to the quarterback, Alabama. Now, how he gets there will be interesting. That's going to make it a really good chess match. So he talked about, his defense. He is obviously very happy to have the help he's got, as you talked about since last year, up front. Those big guys having Newkirk and Valentino and Truesdale going to make a big difference. My gosh, look at how everybody else played on defense. Had no problem getting pressure from the edge, right?
No, they're the most important guys on that defense, the transfers.
Yeah, Zach Carter had 3 sacks.
Yeah, real quick, I got to answer Jason's Facebook Live here. He says, running QBs are the thing now, and it's only one game, and Emory was pressed too hard. Shane hates to admit that Anthony looked good. You ain't listening to me, buddy.
Not this buddy.
No,
buddy.
I'm talking about this guy.
Yeah.
I coached against Anthony Rich. I've seen the kid play his entire high school. He's a phenomenal athlete. Mm-hmm. My point is, just because you have a long run, the most impressive play was obviously what people got is the hurdle. I get it. But again, we've got to throw completions at that position is my point. We have zero chance of beating Alabama with just the quarterback running the football. If you think we can beat them doing that, you're crazy as hell. I mean, their defense is so nasty right now. After one game, we have to throw the ball to beat them. Would you agree with that, buddy? Or
I
no?
do agree with that, but I will say this: even the ESPN crew got excited when he leaped over that tackle.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they got really excited.
He looked like Grant Holloway. I mean, that just doesn't happen. I mean, Najee Harris did it last year in one of the playoff games, I think it was, and the same thing. I mean, those are.
Let's give it to our man Ben Troop. Now he did that move a couple of times too.
Yeah, those are phenomenal athletic plays, but again, it has nothing to do with throwing the football. Is my point.
I think equally as important as how Emory addressed it last night to the media. He talked about it. He knows he didn't have a good game. His quote was, he says, he learned a lot by watching the film. He said, quote, I could have done a lot of things differently, threw the balls better, made better decisions, but all I can do is learn from it. And then he said the summation of his whole effort was, my whole performance just could have been way better. Good kid, good attitude. And I think in the end, he knows the offense, and that will win him the time a lot of the time. Well, it sure is nice to have that guy coming in, number 15 off the base, to light up the crowds.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jason says, once again, you're the only one saying that. We're just excited that he moved the ball. I agree that. But again, it's great that we can run the football at the quarterback position, but you ain't going to win a bunch of games, or the big games, I should say. We've got to throw completions. It's that simple. That's what the job of a quarterback is, throw completions. So, all right, buddy. DeJuan Black, there was a lot of talk about DeJuan Black when he came and was a Gator. I don't think he got to play the other night, right?
I didn't see him in the lineup. I saw him on the sideline wearing number 30. Looked great in the uniform, but I didn't see. I didn't rewatch it. I rewatched it once, and you can't tell on the regular TV tape, who got in, who didn't. I haven't looked at the play chart, participation chart to see if he got in. Maybe one of our brilliant listeners can tell us. I don't think he got in the game. He certainly didn't get mentioned by anybody, so I don't know what happened. They were trying to decide where to put him at the star or what to do, and he's a great athlete. By the way, there were some other good players on the field, too. Their defense, they had some moments. You didn't hear Ventrell Miller's name called that much. He made a few tackles. I saw the secondary looked okay. Nothing struck me. I thought the Coach Perry played a little better than people thought he would. Cowboy giving him a little few pats on the back. But I want to see more of the secondary make plays. Bryce Young is going to test him. I want to see if they're up for that task. So you're right. The upfront pressure is going to make a big difference. The linebacker play, they got some good linebacker play, which I think was going to help a lot. But we didn't see enough, Shane, on either side of the ball to make any judgments at this point. Besides, it's too early.
Yeah, it's too early. And honestly, every game is different. I think defensively, Todd Grantham talking about playing press coverage. I agree with that, but I also disagree with it too, because playing press coverage is not easy in the Southeastern Conference, not every down. But we're going to have to mix it up against Alabama. And here we are talking about Alabama.
How can you not, though? How can you not?
I know. Because they are potent on offense. They got, even though the kid is, had his first start the other day, it'll be his first road start, and it'll be a hostile environment. Maybe he can get right. I think crowd noise could help us, help the defense. If it's that the left or the right tackle is just a second, split second off the ball too late, it will help our pass rushers, and that's going to be crucial when you play a team like Alabama.
Right.
You also were talking about, buddy, you got to be happy for Rick Wells getting his first Gator touchdown. The guy's been here for 6 years. He actually, I believe he had 6 catches. He was our leading receiver Saturday night.
Yeah, I think Emery talked about that. He said, I got you. I mean, he was going to get him that touchdown. His story of redemption has been a good one. I think people are really happy to see him turn around his career. He had an interesting quote, by the way. He was on the presser last night, and he said he's always been about loyalty. He never, ever thought of transferring. And, of course, we know I had forgotten he was in the BB gun deal until I was tweeted out by a member of the press corps, who, by the way, got really hammered for his comments, who said something like the fact that he's done something here besides the BB gun. I don't know if I got that right or not. But my point is that we all love a story of redemption. Gator fans have really trumped him up. It's good to see a young man like that turn his life around, and hopefully he will be a factor. I wanted to see him on the field. I've been hearing him talked about for 3 years, and finally we saw something out of him. I would like to see a little more out of the receivers. They didn't get many balls. Maybe they didn't run good routes. I don't know. I was hoping to see maybe we get a little glimpse of those starters. Shorter got a couple of balls. I didn't see Trent. He'll be on your show later.
Trent caught one ball from Emery for 18 yards,
and the other ball Emery didn't throw it well. It was too far away. And we'll see. So tight ends weren't a factor. But then on the other hand, a lot of that was Mullen not showing a bunch. But you're right. The execution of the passing game was not good. And Shane, you know this about a rhythm. When you're a quarterback, you got to get in rhythm. It's like a point guard shooting threes. You got to be able to not knock them down. And so he's going to get some chance. If they get in the rhythm with this bunch, they've got the personnel on offense to move the football. Now, how good is Alabama's defense? I don't know. How good is Georgia's defense? Apparently world class, although I'm not quite drinking the Kool-Aid on that just yet. Let's see how much that was Clemson's inability to move the football and how much was Georgia. Now, Georgia made the pick 6 play, and they got some terrific defensive players, but I'm not going to sell out on Georgia saying they're the greatest defense in the universe for all time just yet. Let's wait and see. So is this a year, and I asked you this last night, but there's going to be a refound defense where we're going to see more of those 7-6, 14-10 games instead of the track meets? I don't think so, but what do you think?
Well, I think you saw some lower scoring games throughout the country in week 1 due to there's not great quarterback play across the country like you had last year. I mean, think about it. You had 5 first-rounders. You had Trask, who went late. Some other kids went late. There's no established, really, quarterbacks around the country except for Matt Corral at Ole Miss and Spencer Rattler at OU. Both their teams put up 40-something points.
But by the way, OU struggled, and as you know,
they did. They were up 20. They were up 27.5 and kind of laid. I don't know what they did. They sleptwalked the second half. Give Tulane credit.
Hey, that guy could make that first down. That game could have gone the other way. He just barely missed it, the quarterback.
Yes. So I think once we see more quarterback play throughout the country, Kentucky's a team that kind of scares me now, buddy, because I watched them.
Yeah.
They have the guy calling plays from the Rams. Yeah. They actually had some great concepts in their passing game, and they got that transfer from Penn State, Will Levis, who can really throw it. So that's a team that could scare you. But from a high scoring, there's some Alabama and Georgia's defenses are legit. They are legit. Yeah. So we'll see how it progresses over the course of the year. But I think that's the main reason why you haven't seen a lot of high-scoring games. But
all right, I'm going to call a timeout right there on you because I'm not going to hear it this year again. Every year I hear about Kentucky. I
got called out. I said Kentucky was terrible. I'm not buying into Kentucky till they complete forward passes. I said that before the season. It was all over Twitter. The Kentucky people were all upset with me. The Big Blue Nation.
And the other one's Miami. Stop telling me how good Miami is. I hear it every year.
I don't tell you that now.
I just say you. But it's just this storyline. These ESPN people build up the games. Oh boy, you got Derek King, and you got this. Miami's had it good. I'm sorry. I know that Alabama's great and all that. So I'm tired of hearing those same old songs about Kentucky and Miami and all these teams. It's a different world out there right now.
It is, but I've backtracked on Kentucky. Watch their quarterback play against Missouri. He's pretty good, buddy.
I watched him. He can throw it pretty good, but
he's better than Derek King.
Probably. I haven't seen enough of that yet.
Turn your car or truck into a rolling billboard for your business or brand with an eye-catching vehicle wrap from Wrap Spot. This September, mention promo code Shane and receive 13% off your vehicle wrap. We'll go a few more minutes with Buddy, then we'll get to Trent Whittemore. Buddy, a couple things outside the Gator Nation I wanted to get your thoughts on. What did you think about the FSU game the other night?
I thought they won the weekend. I thought the FSU story, I've heard more people say, I'm not an FSU fan. I never thought I'd cheer for them. Mackenzie Milton was incredible. And I'm telling you, you had everybody, every mother in America was looking at that and identifying with his mom, who was falling apart over there. Even a couple of the announcers said, boy, I think Jesse Palmer said on TV, he said, I could hardly look when he went in the game because I didn't know whether he was physically sound, And
especially with that offensive line, boy, it's bad.
That too, crazy to come in and immediately make that completion and get that team. He excited them and it broke everybody's heart, I think, when the FSU kicker went wide left because it was going to be Mackenzie Milton's life. And it's the kind of thing we celebrate in football, Shane. We love stories like that. So I was really impressed. I think Mike Norvell's on the way to coming back. Florida can't mail it in against FSU this year.
No, their transfers that they brought in definitely made a huge, huge difference. Your thoughts on Brian Kelly's comments after the game? Obviously, he kind of butchered it a little bit, but I don't know why people made a big deal about it.
I don't either because it's a famous quote by John McKay. It was a funny quote when he said it regarding, are you in favor of – I'm in favor of execution. There was a play on words that was funny when he made it, but no one even knows who John McKay is anymore. They don't get it. And they tried to make it like he was going to kill the whole team. I think that was a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. That he was just trying to have a light moment. What a great win for Notre Dame, by the way. And they got some ballers now. That quarterback
very good.
Looks good. So, I think Notre Dame's real.
Yeah, I really like their quarterback a lot, who played at Wisconsin and transferred to Notre Dame. Vince has a Facebook Live here, buddy, and we'll let you go here in just a second, brought to you by Melon Law. And I don't know the answer to this, but I never even thought about it. He goes, why didn't Mackenzie Milton transfer to Nebraska?
Interesting. Maybe Scott Frost didn't want him.
Yeah.
Or maybe he thought he was just so hurt he'd never play. I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know.
It is a great question. Okay, buddy. As of today, after week one, give me your 4-team playoff.
Oh, man, I have to think about this now again. Well, we know who the obvious ones are. Obviously, I think Georgia might make it, and I think Ohio State, the same deal there. I'm struggling with the others right now. I can't. I have to think about it.
So you would have Alabama, Ohio State,
and Georgia, and somebody else. Maybe this is one of those strange years, or one of those. The Big 12 has somebody. Who knows? Maybe this is that kind of year. I would like a little variety in there. I really
My
would.
my 4-team playoff, if it started today, would be Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas A&M.
Okay. Second team in the
Yeah.
SEC, yeah.
That'd be three SEC teams.
Oh,
out
you
of
said
4.
3? Oh, no, they're not going to put 3 SEC teams.
Well, hell, they're all undefeated right now.
Yeah, I
and
know.
I think
but
they're the 4 best
no,
teams.
that's why I can't pick the other team just yet. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see. It's not going to be Washington, that's for sure. They lost to Montana. So.
That's unbelievable. And then Brandon asked here, and I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you do, buddy. He wants to know, how did we miss out on Major Wright's brother? I don't know where Major Wright's brother is playing.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. You know, people forget we only have 25 scholarships each year. Mm-hmm. And the coaching staff has to figure out what needs they need. And nowadays, I think they're going to go to about signing 19 or 20 high school kids and leave that 5 or 6 scholarships available for the portal. I just think that's the way it's going.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm sure they asked the question, Tennessee says, how do we miss out on Peyton's brother? You know, that stuff happens. Brothers don't always go to the same school. But I don't know Major Wright's brother. Maybe we ought to look him up, and we'll find out next time.
Oh, Brandon says he's playing for Alabama. Well,
okay. Well,
yeah.
Had a chance to go to Alabama, I guess. Wants to be
a lot of people like to go to Alabama.
Would you like to go to Alabama if you were a quarterback right now? I would.
Yeah, they're producing. There's no question.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, before we let you go, we got to talk golf real quick.
Yeah.
The Tour Championship. Did you watch any of it?
I did. I got to tell you, I was thinking about Patrick Cantlay. What Florida needs at the quarterback position is a Patrick Cantlay. Cool. You talk about consistency and zone and making clutch putts. I mean, that was Tiger-esque. I'm telling you. I know people say, well, you're exaggerating. No, I'm not, because it's so hard to maintain a lead, and he was remarkable. My man DeChambeau kind of self-destructed. And John Rahm played really well, enough to win, but he didn't because he had a guy who never missed. He just never missed.
Yeah, could you imagine playing one hole for either you're going to win $15 million or you're going to win $5 million?
I couldn't draw it back on a $10 Nassau.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. But who do you think wins Player of the Year? You think Cantlay or Rahm?
I'm gonna say Cantlay.
Yeah, I do too. I think the way he played, especially coming down the stretch.
Boy, he was good.
He was outstanding, no question about it.
Be a good Ryder Cup, Shane.
Yeah, that's what in the end of this month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, buddy, your podcast Friday, what you got?
Well, Friday we're hoping to get back with Urban Meyer. We'll see if his schedule permits, and we're going to talk about obviously the weekend games. We're going to catch up with Chris Doring, who was supposed to be on last night and couldn't, and we're going to preview the games and talk about the celebration of college football, which is what we like to do. So we'll talk about the moments like Mackenzie Milton. Frank Frangie will be on with us. We'll talk about what's happening in Jacksonville and what we're going to see there. They're opening up, of course, this weekend. It's going to be a long weekend. It was a long weekend this weekend, but we got that plus pro football. I will watch pro football this week.
Speaking of pro football, let's do our Super Bowl picks right now. Have you thought about who you got in the Super Bowl since the season cranks up Thursday?
No.
Oh.
But I'll go ahead and say mine.
Who you got?
I'm going to take Kansas City.
Playing who?
Well, you really put me to the test right now. I got to think about it. I don't know.
The Bucks?
The Rams? I don't know. The Rams? I don't know.
Okay. Well, I got Buffalo playing the Rams in the Super Bowl. That's my pick this year.
Okay. Well, don't hold me to it.
Well, I just threw it out there.
You got the Buffalo and the Rams, and I've got Kansas City and the Rams. All right.
Okay. Good stuff, buddy. Double coverage tonight.
Double trouble. You always like to call it that. And I'm not sure whether or not Jackie will be there. She's had some family health issues. But certainly Cassidy, who asked some great questions at the press conference yesterday. Dan Mullen asking him to go back and re-explain the 2-quarterback system. We got that by in the press conference. And what he said, you got to really go back to Coach Spurrier's day when he alternated the 2 quarterbacks every play. It was Jesse and Noah, right?
Well, he did it a couple times, but the one game that stands out to me the most was the Florida State game when Noah and Doug Johnson, when we upset Florida State.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Maybe Coach, that's not a bad idea, especially just run them in and out.
Yeah, could be. And so that's the bite we'll hear tonight on Double Trouble the name you gave the show now. They're all after you for that. They're coming after you.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Shane. Have a good day. All right. Thanks very much. Take care.
That's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan More Hotline. You can check him out every weeknight about 9 o'clock on Facebook Live. We're going to take our first time out. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Trent Whittemore, number 14 wide receiver for the Florida Gators. You're watching and listening to Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning. We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, Center State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Company. Some of our touchdown sponsors are MB Listing, Cornerstone Financial, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avra and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit podupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmett Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They are getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmett. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. In North Central Florida, call 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration Point's where the Gators go to celebrate. With premium brands like Nike, Bass Pro Shops, Regal Cinemas, Le Macaron French Pastries, Dave & Buster's, Palmetto Moon, and now open the HBC's new restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Make your reservations today at spurriersgridirongrill.com. We will see you at Celebration Point where the Gators go to celebrate. We're now going to go to the Titan MR Hotline. We're going to be joined by number 14 for the Gators, wide receiver Trent Whittemore. Good morning, Trent. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Coach. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, let's go back and recap a little bit the FAU game. I mean, obviously, it was first game. What was it like being, you were a true freshman? Were you a true freshman or redshirt freshman last year? I can't remember. Redshirt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What was it like, you played a little bit last year, but we didn't have a packed stadium. What was it like? Did you get that adrenaline rush with the packed swamp?
Yeah, definitely had the adrenaline rush. I mean, I can remember running out my redshirt year. I didn't play a whole lot. I played in like 2 games, blowout games. But they were packed, and it was loud in there. And I got that similar feeling coming out last night. It'd been a while since we'd had fans watching the game, and really my first time playing significant snaps with fans in the stands. So it was definitely an adrenaline rush coming out onto the field, and then stayed there with big noise after plays and stuff like that throughout the game.
Yeah, you got the start last night in the slot for offense. Had 2 good drives the first couple of series. Then kind of sputtered around, but that happens a lot of times in the first game. You had 1 catch for 18 yards, had an opportunity for another one. Emory just kind of threw you a low, hard one. Just talk a lot about what you thought the offense did well and what y'all need to improve on getting ready for South Florida?
Yeah, I think obviously we ran the ball well. I think I saw it was up near like 400 yards or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, so obviously we ran the ball super well. I think we really drove the ball down the field, almost at will. But as you said, we sputtered there in the red zone a couple of times. I think we definitely have to get better, just finishing drives. But as far as moving the ball, like I said, I feel like we did that really well. It's just finishing drives and being better, in those special situations, whether it's third down or red zone or those type of situations.
Yeah, speaking we did run the ball very well, a lot of yards. I want to say it's the most rushing yards we've ever had in an opener. And as a receiver, and I want to say the first touchdown pass, which was basically a wide receiver screen to Rick Wells, you wide receivers threw great blocks on that for him to basically walk in untouched. Talk a little bit about what Billy Gonzalez, the receiver coach, how much he emphasized to you guys that if you don't block, you're not going to play.
Yeah, I mean, those are his exact words. You don't block, you don't play, you don't get in there. So we take, pride in controlling the perimeter, whether it's blocking for the quarterbacks getting outside, the running backs on design run plays, or just for each other. We had some bubbles in the offense, things like that one guy's, getting the ball, and we know, before the play starts that we're going to have to throw some huge blocks on the outside. And like I said, we take pride in being able to do that. And we were able to do that last night pretty successfully.
Trent, I wanted to ask this because, we play a lot of players. A lot of running backs get touches, same way with receivers. I see some series where y'all may have the entire series, the three receivers in the starting unit. But then I saw last night, we were taping this, folks, that one time y'all got down towards the red zone, the starting three came out and another three receivers went in. Is that just a game plan type deal?
Yeah, I think it's just the coaches feel. They just are going to decide, hey, if it's been a long drive and we want fresh legs in there, they'll sub some guys in. Or if they think, the guys out on the field are in a good rhythm, then they'll leave them out there. I don't know if necessarily a game plan thing, but like I said, just a feel thing by the coaches. And, just if guys need a blow or like I said, if guys are in a good rhythm, they'll decide whether to keep guys on the field or send some new ones in there.
At the quarterback position, Emory played well early, had some, a couple of bad throws here and there, but it happens for quarterbacks. Anthony came in, did some good things, obviously had that long run for a touchdown. I noticed watching Trent from the stands where I was sitting, it always seems like Coach Mullen has one, I don't want to call it a funky formation, but kind of an unbalanced formation, it seems like, for every opponent. And it looked like we were in that unbalance, which means for our people listening, we had three receivers to the left. The tight end was also on the wing to the left. And FAU apparently didn't adjust to it. And it looked like we just ran a zone play and there was nobody out there. Is that kind of Coach Mullen has a couple of special formations that he feels like he can take advantage of the defense?
Yeah, I think Coach Mullen is great at, scheming up big plays every game, which, kind of means that he has formations that he feels like are going to get big yards just because we have the defense, kind of outsmarted, I guess you would say. And yeah, we went unbalanced on that long play from Anthony, and we go +1 with the threat of the quarterback run, and all of a sudden you got a guy who can fly, running down the sideline untouched. So Coach Mullen does a great job of out scheming people and getting us in good formations.
Hey, Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. We're speaking with Gator wide receiver Trent Whittemore, number 14 in your program. Real quick, why did you go to number 14? You were number 80 last year, right?
Yeah, I was 80. Decided to go to 14. Dad wore 14 down at UCF in college, so in honor of him, I decided to make the change. So yeah, that's the reason for the change right there.
Very cool. Very cool. We had a little poll question. I guess it was last week on my show, and I had tons of people on Facebook chiming in. What do you like best out of these three kind of Gator traditions, Trent? The Gator Walk, We Are the Boys, or Won't Back Down?
I think I'll go Gator Walk. It's I think it brings the most excitement to the player because it's pregame. With the fourth quarter traditions, we might be locked in a tight game, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking about the next drive. I can't necessarily enjoy those songs going in like the fans do. Now it's still awesome, but I might be a little bit more locked in on the game. Whereas Gator Walk, I get to see my family, hug my mom. That stuff means a lot to the players. So I think Gator Walk definitely fires me up more than anything.
Yeah, and the Gator Walk's going to be absolutely crazy here in 2 weeks. It'll be insane. All right, so basically, this game's over. Obviously, we probably didn't throw the ball as well as a receiver would want. I mean, I think we can throw it better. Just real quick, a couple more minutes with you. As a receiver, does it get frustrating sometimes when the ball doesn't come to you as much? Because I remember, going back when guys would come back to the huddle. You guys don't huddle, but back in the day when I played, people we'd huddle. And, of course, there's never been a receiver who has not been open. Are you one of those kind of guys that goes back to Coach Gonzalez and says, hey, run this play, or you tell Emery or Anthony, hey, I'm wide open, look for me?
I think everybody's got a right on it. And, if you feel like, hey, I was wide open on this play, it didn't come to me on that one, let's go back to that next drive. So I think I would make a comment or something like that if I feel like I was wide open. But the receiver group tries to be just supportive of one another, and wherever the ball's going that game, whoever's got the hot hand, feed them, and everybody else get on blocks and just continue to as a receiver, you just continue to run good routes, block downfield, and just worry about the balls that do come to you, catch those ones, and that's all you can do. So I think that's our mindset every time we go out there.
And now we get ready this week. We go to Tampa to play South Florida, who really didn't look very good the other night. They lost 45-0 to NC State. I know y'all haven't really worked on UCF, and you want to take it one game at a time. But the following week is a huge game here in Gainesville. Have you watched any tape on South Florida? Do you know anything about them?
Well, like you said, because this is taped and it's Sunday, I haven't. I was at church this morning and took myself a little nap, so I haven't gotten into it yet. But that'll definitely be getting done here in the next 48 hours. I'll watch a lot of tape. I do know that they lost to NC State on what was that, Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Jackson White, a former Bobcat alum and Coach Shane Matthews' product there. He's the special teams coordinator at NC State. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I haven't watched much on them yet, but I'm sure it'll be a real fun game down there in Tampa. We got quite a few Gator fans down there, filling up Raymond James and another in-state opponent, so that's always fun. So we'll be ready for them on Saturday.
Yep. So we're going to have Trent here every Tuesday here on Pot Up with Matthews in the morning, and he'll give us some insight on the opponent and the game that just ended. So Trent, we appreciate you joining us, buddy. Good luck down there in Tampa against the Bulls, and after that big win, we'll be getting ready for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Take care, my man.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yep. That's Trent Whittemore. Join us on the Titan Hour Hotline. When we come back, we'll wrap up this Tuesday edition. We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, Center State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Company. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen, Weedy, Realtor, Caldwell Banker, MM Parrish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Rat Spot, Okido America, Gators Dockside, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Meals Cheesesteaks. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They're getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmitt. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. In North Central Florida, call 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Center State Bank is now South State Bank, but we still put business first. We understand that small businesses need a community business partner that they can rely on. South State has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. South State Bank, banking forward, member FDIC. I want to thank Buddy Martin and Trent Whittemore. Remember, Trent's going to be with us every Tuesday morning. However, we have to tape his segment on Sunday evening because of his class schedule, practice meetings, and all that. So if you want to ask any questions regarding the game or the upcoming opponent, feel free to shoot us a text on our Titan MR text line or send us some messages here on Facebook Live. We got a text on the Titan MR text line. It comes from Daryl. He says, "Good morning, guys. It simply amazes me how the backup quarterback is always a fan's favorite. I think Dan will play the best quarterback that he's comfortable with. We just need to sit back and watch." Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, I agree. Dan, he knows what he's doing. So trust the coach. Trust the coach. This Day in Sports brought to you by our good friends at Comfort Temp. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Comfort Temp's hiring all levels of experience, great culture and benefits, opportunity for growth, $1,000 signing bonus. Give Comfort Temp a call at 352-376-2366. This Day in Sports last year in 2020 at the PGA Tour Championship at East Lake Air in Atlanta, Dustin Johnson wins by 3 strokes over Xander Schauffele and Justin Thomas, wins the FedEx Cup, and pockets a cool $15 million. It would be nice to be a golfer, wouldn't it? Those boys get paid very, very well. Make sure you tell all your friends and family to follow our program, especially during football season. We have a lot of good guests throughout the year. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, you name it. Click the follow button, like, all that good stuff. We'd really, really appreciate it. Tomorrow we'll have JC. We'll do some picks tomorrow. Obviously, we'll pick the Tampa Bay game since that's on Thursday. NFL kicks off Thursday night. Bucks and the Cowboys. We're supposed to have Steve Palazzolo from Pro Football Focus giving us his breakdown of what he thinks is going to happen in the Super Bowl this year. Today's show's a wrap. Brought to you by Wrap Spot, folks. Be safe, and we will see you tomorrow.
1st and 10. Matthews, near side, wide open, Alonzo Sullivan. He may go. Touchdown, Gators.